free. Let's talk about them hills. Let's talk about the gold might be waiting for me there. Let's talk about the dogwoods and Appalachian hills. Let's talk about the gold might be waiting for me there.
Have everybody's attention, please. I'd like to introduce Miss Cassie to the podcast. Y'all gather around now.
Cashy, yeah, that's fair. Keep on making it rain, Cashy. All right, let's see where we're at here.
Platform, I support this the way it is now. Thank you, Matthew, for putting it forward.
It also calls out voluntary animal stewardship, which I think is a huge one, especially in the state of North Carolina, with such a farming being such a prominent part of our economy.
That libertarianism is real world radicalism.
You set this whole thing up. How did it go?
What do you think?
I think it went good.
In all seriousness, no joking right now, I thought it went very well. We wanted to do something in Western North Carolina. Like, that was a for real important thing, and Lake Lure looks awesome. And Lake Lure reminded us today of why we were here, lost the power, a little forest fire, but but it's been a good energy. It's well attended. Everyone's been cool. Everyone's having fun. A lot of great events. I'm tired, but one more day, I'm going to sleep tomorrow.
I agree. I'm exhausted, y'all. Exhausted. So, are you really going to make me do this polar plunge?
Without question.
I'm really going to kick you in the balls. Yeah. You agreed. I am proud of y'all for hosting this in Western North Carolina. I actually sat down and looked it up to see if the Democrats or the Republicans have done this. If they've hosted a convention in Western North Carolina, given what happened with Hurricane Helene, you would think they would.
I mean, we care. Look, I'm not going to be all hippy-dippy, like, oh, we care about the people, but like, we want to make things better, and where you can help, if it's doing something anyway, especially, of course, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I like it. I did. I'm very, very proud of you. Good job.
Thank you. You seem at home. You're like in your element. You slide right in.
I've discovered that I am a whole lot more libertarian than I ever thought.
No. I keep telling everyone else they have to change you because you're too stubborn to ever say that I was the one who did it. But if you could rub it in my face that someone else did, we got a chance.
That's probably fair. But not only that, there are points of contention for me still about libertarians, or libertarianism. Is that a word? Yes, there you go. I have some points of contention that I don't know I could get over.
So do we within ourselves, if you haven't noticed.
You guys seem to fight amongst yourselves the same way that all the other people in their own parties fight amongst themselves. You just argue more intelligently about it. Yeah.
And with less like we're going to win elections. But we're working on that part. That's next.
Do you guys think that you'll start compromising a little more? I think if you were to compromise a little more, that you might get further.
What do you mean by compromise? My principles are not for sale.
That's compromise, though, isn't it?
As soon as you compromise, you're compromised. There are avenues when people come together in good faith where I think you can work out something that's mutually beneficial, and maybe everyone doesn't get what they want. But to me, that's not a compromise. That's working together for a common goal.
It's literally what the definition of compromise.
When I think of compromise, I think of sacrificing something that's important to you to advance something else, but giving up sort of part of your principles or your fundamental beliefs in the process.
I think of it more as people coming together and going, okay, I'm not going to get everything that I want. You're not going to get everything that you want. Let's compromise. I think that that's a huge problem in our political system today, is that nobody wants to compromise. It's my way or no way, and look at where we've gotten.
So I don't mean to be pedantic, because I know it's a small distinction. And I certainly believe in incrementalism, win things a little bit at a time. What I mean by I'm not willing to compromise my principles is like, I'm anti-war all the time. And obviously we can defend ourselves. If someone attacks or is just truly an imminent threat, sure. But you're never gonna get me to say it's okay to take my stolen tax money to blow people up. And especially innocent people. Do you ever watch MASH?
Oh, well, I've seen some episodes. My father-in-law is really into MASH, y'all, and so of course my husband grew up on it, and so I've seen some episodes, but it's not something that I remember like my papa or my daddy watching when I was a kid.
So it's a good show. I can't say I'm super into it. My dad watched it all the time. And there's one thing that was on one episode that stuck out since I was like 7 years old. And the doctor said to the priest when they're operating on someone, "War is hell, Father." And the priest goes, "No, war isn't hell. Who do you think's in hell?" And the doctor's like, "Sinners, bad people, murderers." And the priest's like, "Exactly. War hurts children and innocents and mothers and families. War is much worse than hell."
Oh, I mean, I would never say that war is good, but I'm definitely someone who thinks that if you screw with me, it's on.
Well, you are a little bit collectivist.
That's probably true. Explain what you mean by that.
Like I don't believe in public anything really. But to you, it's like it's your country.
Yeah, it's my country.
And I love this country. I've told you this many. I've lived in a communist country. But see, to me, America is an idea of freedom. It's the shining city on the hill.
I think that too.
But once you become, I don't know if corrupted is the right word, but sort of infiltrated by the idea that it's us against them and that America as the country conceptually is more important than America, the idea, then it's subsumed. You lose the idea. Like if I'm going to compromise, it's on things that are good for me for the sake of freedom.
I mean, I guess I can see that. Maybe. I do look at the country though, and this is mine. Particularly North Carolina. Everybody already knows that though, right?
But I respect it. I love what you're doing. That's why I reached out. See, the big sort of dissonance is that I agree with most of what you say and a lot of what you're doing. I just think that the way you want to do it is actually damaging to your efforts. Because once you say we need the state to enforce some sort of, say, cultural norm, what you're then doing is ceding the authority over cultural norms to the state.
But see, I don't believe that. I believe that we, the people of North Carolina, need to stand up for North Carolina culture. And that I do think that there are ways that we can help that through law. I'll give you a great example. Shrimping. I was very vocal about being against a shrimp ban in the state of North Carolina. And to me, standing up for that politically ended up preserving North Carolina culture.
That wasn't a law, that was preventing a law.
But same difference. You know what I mean? Like, here's another great example. You want to fully legalize marijuana. I have no problem with people smoking pot in their house if that's what they want to do. Me personally, that's how I feel about it. If you want to get high, get high. I don't care. I care if you're doing it out on the street. To me, that changes North Carolina culture. We are the Bible Belt, right? So if you're walking down the street and you're getting high and the little mamaw who's sitting, there drinking her coffee has to smell it, that's rude. We don't do that.
So you want an example of a compromise where we're not really giving anything up? So I disagree with you. Like if you want to walk down the street and smoke a joint and people are like, "Oh, it smells," like so does other stuff. Are you going to make deodorant like a requirement? But okay, but fine. I'm empathic to your position. So I've proposed things like, what if we had an ordinance, not a law, but an ordinance, so you can't go to jail, but if people smell your weed, you got to pay a $200 fine. I was in college stuffing towels under doors and smoking through dryer sheets. Like, we can make it not smell.
All college kids did that.
So we can make it not smell. So yeah, take some responsibility over your actions. It's not a free for all.
Oh, I don't think that you should go to jail for it. Something like that is something that I could get behind. But my thing is I don't want to pull up at church, get out, and there be some jackass hotboxing their car right next door, and me have to smell that.
But so this is where private ownership comes into play. It is incumbent upon the private entity to maintain the atmosphere that they want. So the church should be the ones doing something about it.
What, are they going to start fining people $200 for smoking pot in their parking lot?
Say, get the hell out of here and never come back.
But it's church. Everybody's supposed to be welcome at church.
All right, get the hell and come back when you're sober, when you can control yourself.
I don't know that I agree with that part. I do agree with the ordinance. That's a compromise, though. I like that compromise. That's something I could get behind.
So, and that's fine. It's a compromise, but I don't feel like there's a liberty sacrifice there. There's an annoyance, but it's you're not penalizing someone for smoking weed. You're penalizing them for aggressing on someone else with a smell. You have now caused this person harm, as minor as it may be. It's a significant annoyance to that person, and it's reasonable for them to say, we don't want it. Littering should be a fine, I think.
I mean, I would be totally okay with that.
In Hong Kong, and they have a lot of problems, and China's way worse. But one thing I will say is, if you litter or don't clean up after your pet, it's a $1,000 fine on the spot. And it is one of the cleanest cities I have ever been to.
We should do that for human feces in some American cities.
Speak of the devil.
Oh, y'all, it's Gru. This is going to be fun.
Pass it to him and come back?
Dude.
Talk about the history, let's talk about them hills. Let's talk about the gold might be